Today, bringing mobile and Wi-Fi services together into a seamless gapless service fabric. My guest today is Kurt Bauer of Carnegie Technologies. He's going to tell us all about how to do that. Join us right after this short message. All right, welcome back, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wi-Fi Now TV. My name is Claus Hetting, and this, of course, is the show that brings you all the stories and all the great people from across the Wi-Fi industry. And today we'll be discussing one of my favorite topics, and that's mobile Wi-Fi convergence, offload, Wi-Fi first. Call it what you like. It's all about bringing Wi-Fi and mobile together into a seamless service fabric. And we'll get to my guest today, Kurt Bauer from Carnegie Technologies, in just a moment. Before I do that, I want to make sure that you know that we're taking Wi-Fi Now, the Expo Conference, to London, UK, this October 25th to 27th. It's less than 2 weeks. There's less than 2 weeks to go, and already more than 300 great and passionate Wi-Fi people have signed up to join us in London, and so can you. We will also have more than 50 expert speakers ready to share their insights. So check out our program and everything at wifinow.international. That's the URL. And if you have any questions, drop me a line at Klaus@wifinowevents.com. Always happy to hear from all our viewers out there. Now, for my guest today, I'm delighted to welcome to the show Kurt Bauer of Carnegie Technologies, and I believe Kurt today is coming to us from San Francisco. Welcome, Kurt.
Thanks very much. It's great to be here, Klaus.
Good to see you. Kurt, for our viewers who are not familiar with Carnegie, and I have to say Carnegie is a fairly new company, at least under that name as I understand it. Can you give a short introduction?
Yeah, so Carnegie is a company that is really focused on exactly what you're talking about. One of your favorite subjects is the convergence of networks. So users just want ubiquitous, persistent sessions for voice and video, whatever it is. They just want it to work, no matter where they are, what network they're on. They're tired of worrying about it because it's a hassle. The disconnect is that the operators don't necessarily have control of that environment. They don't have a fully robust ability to deliver that kind of solution with traditional methods, and that's what Carnegie is all about. So we're delivering what we call the network convergence platform that sits inside of operator networks, and then also we provide software at the edge to go on devices that enables those functions where you can really get gapless handover for voice sessions, sharing bandwidth aggregation for video applications, and doing that in a way that is cost-friendly to the operator, reducing churn, driving revenue, and creating a great user experience.
Excellent. So, Kurt, just to tell us a bit about what you see as the drivers in this transformation. And it's a transformation, as you might know, I've been following this and advocating this for a number of years. But it does seem to me that certain things are happening now, pointing in that direction that this transformation is actually going to happen. What do you see as the drivers? Is it economics? Is it technology? What is it today?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so many drivers in this. A lot of things are happening simultaneously, and a perfect storm is negative, but this is a positive perfect storm. So what's happening is, and I think a lot of operators would say the first thing I'm going to say is a negative, but OTT, the presence of OTT and the Apple and Google ecosystems are putting loads of pressure on traditional mobility networks. So they need to do more, and because otherwise they're going to lose control of their customers and lose that relationship and be relegated to be dumb pipes, and they don't want that, and rightfully so. So there's consolidation that's happening and new methods that are being deployed to create revenue and improved user experience and that sort of thing. Another influence for this, especially on the traditional mobility side, is indoor coverage is a CapEx heavy kind of a thing. It's hard to get indoors, and to such an extent, even with new green building codes, new buildings are creating Faraday cages for a lot of operations, and it makes it really difficult to deploy internally. And in the case of our solution, by by lighting up Wi-Fi and making Wi-Fi networks part of a mobile operations network, then they can really keep those costs down. So that's another big influence. And then video and just overall capacity is putting lots of pressure on as well. So a lot of things are happening that are influencing this convergence and utilization of all the tools.
Yeah, things coming together at the same time, exactly. And so, Kurt, just explain to us in a little bit more detail what your solution does in bringing mobile and Wi-Fi together, because we also have to say, and I think you would agree with me on this, that there has been some work going on this for a while now, but actually cracking this issue of bringing Wi-Fi and cellular seamlessly together has been very hard also for some very big players out there. But you say that you've actually cracked this, but just explain to us how you actually do it.
Well, we have, and what our platform does is it is dynamically identifying based on the policy of the operator, and in some cases the policy applied to a particular user within an operation, about what is the best network to select at any given time and where to send that traffic. So that is happening at not only at call setup, but also once a call or a session is underway. So that intelligent network selection is a big deal. And if you're an MVNO, you might have a different point of view than if you're an MNO, but it's important nonetheless, regardless of your point of view. The key component in that, in the dynamic part, once the call is set up, is to be able to maintain that session no matter where you are. So if I'm on my Wi-Fi network in my house or in my office and I walk out on the street, I lose my Wi-Fi. Well, guess what? In most solutions, in all solutions other than ours, I'll be so bold as to say, that the call gets dropped. It's not a good experience at all. And we've created patented technology that allows that handover to be completely gapless, where it's not perceived by the user at all. Mm-hmm. So calls stay up and the quality stays high. That same technology is used for our bandwidth aggregation, where we can bind channels together. That's important as well. And also our ability to coexist in IMS environments is also important. So we think those are all an encapsulation of what's unique about us and why the market is
bringing these various components of convergence together, essentially, right?
Yes.
Can you give us a bit of a status on where you are in terms of trials, deployment, rollout, anything like that?
Yeah, so we have a lot of activity going on worldwide, not only deployments that we're going to be building out to scale now, that we're doing right now, but new customers that are coming online interested in what we're offering. So as we get more well-known, the interest is continuing to rise. We have installations in Asia, in Europe, and the US as well, and in Canada. And it's fingers crossed, things are going quite well.
Great. And when do you think, if it hasn't happened already, that consumers will be using this solution actively out there on their mobile devices?
Well, we're talking about production deployments. Well, we have a couple production deployments right now, but they're small and growing. And then we have some large ones happening. I'd say by the first of the year, you'll start to see a lot in high volume environments.
Right. So in general, if we're talking about operators that are looking into this idea of converging cellular with Wi-Fi, what would be your advice to them? I mean, it's obviously a process that they have to go through, understanding what the challenges are, what the benefits are. What would you, other than calling you and saying, Carnegie, can you please do this? What would be your advice?
Yeah, so that would be, of course, the first thing is give us a shot. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a given. But some advice is make sure when you're thinking about deployments, and I'm thinking mostly of IMS, because that's it's a standards-driven thing and it's an important standard, but it has some holes, functional holes, and it's expensive and it's complicated. So just be aware of that. So if you're depending on your type of operation, it may or may not be a good fit for you now. But we can deliver all of these components right now today in a way that's feature rich that allows you to work with IMS both today and in the future.
Yeah, IMS hugely expensive, by the way. I heard a figure of $10 million for an IMS platform, right? So
Yes,
it's a
really
lot of money, especially in today's environment where operators are cutting on capex, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Very good points, actually. Thanks a lot for that, Kurt. So what's the next big thing for you? You're pushing, obviously, your convergence solution, and anything else you want to tell us about that you've got in the pipeline? You're going to be in London, of course, at the Wi-Fi Now
Yes, absolutely.
event coming up. Anything else you want to tell us about, Kurt?
Yeah, so what we've got coming up is we're going to be talking about a specific partner that we're working with at the event. So we're excited about that. You're also going to be seeing not for Wi-Fi Now, but in the future, near future, you're going to be seeing new components that get laid on top of the platform and news about a lot of deployments. So there's a lot going on. And
a lot in the pipeline. Well, it's great to have you on the show, and we're delighted that you're doing this great work, and I'm a big supporter of all these technologies coming together. I think everybody needs it, and it's going to happen. So it's great to have you on. Thank you so much, Kurt, and come back and see us again.
Thank you, Claus. It's my pleasure. Thanks.
All right, everybody, that's it for today. And don't forget to go to wifinow.international to register for our London event, of course, coming up in a couple of weeks, and where you will get to meet Carnegie Technologies, as well as many other great companies in Wi-Fi. See you next week for another episode, and thank you for watching.
Wi-Fi Now is a production of RCR TV News. To suggest a show topic or to learn more about Wi-Fi Now events, you can reach Claus Hetting at klaus@hettingconsulting.com. To find out more about Wi-Fi Now and all things wireless, visit rcrwireless.com.